Let's take this humble orange, learn how to preserve it for a year, and I'm going to show you 6 different ways to use it to make your friends and families happy this holiday season and how to use it in your own home. Hi, in case we haven't met, I'm Darcy from the Purposeful Pantry, where we talk about dehydrating and preserving food all the time. And today I'm going to walk you through how to dehydrate orange slices, how to make them into little giftable treats with chocolate, how to create some simmer pot bags as gifts or hostess gifts. I'm going to show you how I make a stovetop potpourri in my home, how I use the leftover bits to save for making it cleaner, and then we'll have a cup of tea. So let's go get started.
You'll want to set your mandolin to between 3/4 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. Of course, you can use a bread knife to do this as well.
This is why it's so important to wear a glove. This gets really slippery. Your hands can even slip off of the guard into your blade. Okay, wear a safety glove. Okay, we're going to try this out. We're going to blanch some of our orange slices to see if it helps with the bitterness that some people have when they're doing dehydrated oranges. Bitterness from oranges comes some in part from the white pith here, plus the membrane that keeps all the cells in place. The sweetness from the orange actually comes from the oil that is in the skin here, and then what's within the cells. So we're going to give this a try to see if this helps with bitterness that people find when they try to eat oranges afterwards, because you can eat an entire orange. These have boiled for about 2 minutes. I'm going to put them right into an ice bath to stop the cooking process. We don't want to cook these. We just want to blanch them. Just like that.
And next we're going to do some candied orange slices. We're going to do 1 part water to 1 part sugar. I did 4 cups of each here for as many oranges as I was doing. Then you're going to want to go ahead and allow it to simmer until the sugar has completely dissolved, and then put your orange slices in and let them simmer for 40 minutes.
So after about 40 minutes, I took these out. And you can see they're starting to break up a little bit, and that's fine. They're a little sticky because they've got sugar on them. Just put them on your trays. All right, here we go. We have our blanched, sorry about the puppy dog next door. Our blanched, the top 2 shells, regular next 2 shells, and then our candied on the bottom 2 shells. All right, we're going to change our temperature to 120. We don't want to dry it too high because it will make our oranges turn darker. So we'll drop it to that. Then our time is just going to be the full time it allows us, because these are going to take 1 or 2 days to get dry. Just go with that, get it started. There you go. So I strained the simple syrup so that I got most of the citrus pulp out, and then here we go. We have an orange flavored simple syrup that you can store in your refrigerator, and it is great on mocktails and cocktails and any other, your tea, anything that you'd like to sweeten with a little bit of orange flavor. And during the course of the season, the more oranges that I have, I will start adding them to my next batch of orange oil, which I just take all of my rinds and throw in here, and then fill it with vinegar. I just fill it enough so that they're buried, and it will. But I'm going to have more this year than I normally put in a quart jar, so this year we're doing the half-gallon jar, and as I finish off these oranges, all of their skins will go into this jar too. Then I'm going to stick this into a dark place and let it steep for about a month, 2 months, and then I'll be done with my old batch, and then it'll be time to start using this new batch. And this is about how much I have left of my current jar. This is mostly it's half vinegar, half water, a squirt of Dawn oil of Dawn dish soap, and then a little orange oil. I don't use this in places where the oil will cause a problem because it can leave us a residue because of the oil. But use it as you need to, how you need to. You can also have one of these without the oil and a smaller one with oil, because the oil will really help cut down grease, especially around the oven and stove. That's where I use it the most. Okay, let's first talk about blanched versus non-blanched. Let's hope we can get this up here for you so you can see. I'm sorry that the camera jumps trying to focus, but here you go. This is what a blanched one looks like. It's kind of, I wouldn't say destroyed, but it has been altered, versus the non-blanched, which is more as it was originally. The non-blanched version is more aesthetically pleasing than the blanched version. But having sampled both, I can say that the blanched version, this version right here, is a little less bitter. But having gone through the blanching process, it has removed a little bit of the bitterness that this might have. So in the past, if you've had problems with this, thinking it's too bitter, try the blanching next time and see if it helps you. So there are those. I'm going to store those together, just work with them just as they are. And then here are our candied versions. When I tell you that you let them rest for about 5 or 10 minutes and then you try to snap them to see how dry they are, these do not snap in quite the same way because it has so much sugar in there. It takes a little while to break it. But these, I can vouch, these are completely crispy and dry. The thing is that these are going to have to be kept very well. I would use a jar with a moisture absorber and vacuum seal if you can, because you want to pull out any moisture that might even be in that jar so that the sugar doesn't start attracting all of the molecules of water that are in the air, and that will help cut down on these sticking in your jars. But I would do these in anticipation of gifting them pretty soon after you've done them. You don't want to do them and then store them for 2 months and ready to gift unless you're going to put them back in the dehydrator for a little while to dry out right before you go through that process. But these are good and tasty. Snap well. Sweet orange flavor. They're wonderful. Always mark your jars, folks. Always mark your jars. You never know. All right. With storage for citrus, you want a cool, dark, dry place. Light can start to turn these dark after a time. I know that by the time a year has gone by, when I replenish my stash, the citrus slices that I do, the oranges, limes, and lemons are the ones I do the most. They have turned dark just from the exposure to light on my shelves because I can't help it. I don't have a lot of dark space to store. They still are fine to use. They just have turned dark. But isn't this gorgeous? This is absolutely gorgeous. Here's another way that I used a lot of the end bits, just like this, or smaller bits that really aren't worth eating. End bits from here. I could have also included these in the vinegar, but I didn't want to because I also am making some potpourri simmering packages to gift for Christmas that are going to be full of these bits of oranges, some larger pieces, some smaller pieces, and let me show you what I do with those. So I'm going to go ahead and store these bits in a jar because I am not quite ready to package these up for gifts. I'm doing this well enough ahead of time that I get ready for later. But you do want to package these up not long before you give, because you're going to most likely are going to be putting these into little gift bags that are not airtight. And you don't want to have these storing in that kind of condition if you're not giving them for another month or two. So I'm putting these into my jars, and I'm going to go ahead and close these up and get ready to store them until we're ready to make our gifts. What I'm doing is taking my candied orange slices, dipping them into chocolate. This is just chocolate wafers that I melted. You have your chocolate, and if you want to, you can take some of this gold sugar. I just got it at the store. Sprinkle on top. And place on a tray to dry. I'm using silicone covered tray that I can just pick up and walk away with. This happens to be a freeze-dried tray, but you can use whatever you want. You can also do your regular orange slices. Dip in there to get them good and covered. Shake off some of your excess and lay them on the tray to dry. Now another way to use this is a simmering pot. It's kind of like stovetop potpourri. So what I do is I usually take some of my leftover ends and put them in a small saucepan that's full of water. And dump those in. You can add anything that you like that you love the smell of. If we're gonna do a little Christmas, I'm gonna do a handful of freeze-dried cranberry bits. I happen to have some fresh rosemary, but you can use dried anytime. I'm gonna toss in a couple of the broken star anise that I was using to fill my gift bags with, and then pop a cinnamon stick in there. You can add a little vanilla, you can do anything that you like. And we're gonna let this come to a boil and then drop the temperature so that it simmers. And it's gonna put a lovely, lovely smell into your house all day long. Just don't let this boil dry. If you need to add some more water, add some more water. And if you would like a list of a bunch of simmering pots that you can put together in order to gift for Christmas or even for yourself, there's going to be a link down in the description box below and up here in the iCards where you can get a printout of a bunch of different ideas. And here's what they look like when they're packaged up, ready to go. I put a little note on there, and then I put some instructions on the back, and I make up a bunch of these for Christmas gifts. Okay, to put these together, I'm taking a little cellophane bag that I got from Walmart. They're food grade, they're meant for food. I'm gonna take a chunk of oranges. I'm gonna take some cranberries because they make it look pretty. And I'm gonna take a cinnamon stick, a couple of pieces of star anise, a few cloves, just toss them in there just like that. Maybe another piece like that. Then I'm also gonna take some dried rosemary and just put it in there together. And then I just tie it off with a twist, just like that. And you have your own little simmer pot. Now again, if you want to get a list of these that you can make, a whole bunch of different ideas for different seasons, different reasons, click down below. There'll be a PDF for you to download. So if you want to see some other gifts that you can put together for Christmas, watch this video right here. And until I see you again next time, keep preserving.